Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Ayguen Sahin, and in this channel on Friday nights we do our socio-psychological and socio-political analysis of world events and things that's going on in our country and around the globe. And this video, I wanted to talk about a topic that no one is talking about, and I had this inside of me for at least 3 decades, because it is a topic that is not just about United States. It's true for Germany, it's true for Turkey. At least those are the countries that I lived in, and I know for a fact what is happening, so I can definitely tell you what is going on regarding the corrupt systems that discriminates against single people. I wanted to talk about this topic for a really long time. Finally, not only that I have the platform that I actually can talk about it, but also I want to dedicate today for this. And I want to do structural analysis based on areas that includes housing, that includes academic positions or any positions, and in general in the society, how, and even families, how actually they treat single people versus people that are committed or that are with a partner or with a husband, wife, whatever. Even with boyfriend, girlfriend, it's just so wild, the difference. And I am talking from my experiences for 3 decades, from, again, Germany, Turkey, as well as United States, okay? And I lived in each of these countries more than decade. In this country, I lived 2 decades, okay? So the most that I lived in is the United States, but also in 2 other countries I lived more than decades. So I can definitely tell you this topic is literally 3 decades long analysis and statistics that I am bringing to you firsthand. Okay, so let's start with academic positions, or any positions if you applied. And I want you to comment to me and tell me your situation, if you've been discriminated because you were single at any time, in any way, shape, or form, in any country. I want to know. Write this in the comments, because I want to collect those information, because I want to write a book about this. Okay, so please share with me your, if you can also email me and or connect with me on my website draygenshahin.com, and write to me privately if you feel not comfortable writing this in the public. So I understand these are very sensitive topics, and that's why nobody really, I guess, dare to talk about this. And I'm able to and want to share it with you, because it's getting really out of control. Okay, so let's talk about if you apply for a position. And this is mostly also in academic positions, but also when you apply in industry or any kind of upper level position, or any level, even entry level positions. So what is happening is that when you are a single person and you apply for a position, and I will do the comparison with whether you are a partnered, boyfriend, girlfriend even, or husband and wife, okay? So the difference is that when you are single and applying, you are literally bound by whatever that organization, that department has written in structure. However, if you are partnered, husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, if they know, by the way, it's illegal for them to ask you about your relationship status. It's illegal to ask that, and they know that. but they are going and turn into pretzels to find out whether or not you are single or you are in a relationship. So once they go into turn into pretzel and find out, then what they do is they twist and turn into pretzels and make that position fit to that committed person. I have seen this a million times firsthand, okay? So what it is that that person also knows how to play the system. Meaning, and I've seen this multiple times, applying for the same positions, they say, oh, even nobody asks for it. They say, my husband is working in that, let's say it's a state, you're in a different state and you apply for a different state. And then they say, my husband is in this state or in this university or in this job in this city, so I need to be there too. And they're like, oh, of course, yeah. And then they turn into this moving and shaking things around to make it possible that this person is getting hired. Also, the other way around, my wife is in this university, so I need to be there. And they're like, oh, of course. And they even give a dual position, let's say a dual professorship, dual whatever the heck, researcher position. And I even, oh my God, 2 decades ago, when the German delegation, and I was the research ambassador for North America for Germany, and even the German delegation would come 2 decades ago, when I still was in Harvard, would come to the United States, and then we would all the conferences, and they opened this dual positions in Germany to recruit back the Germans to Germany. And they were talking 2 decades ago to open the dual positions. This is a real thing. This is a real thing. Now, if you're single and you're applying, then, and if let's say if it's a different state, different city, they're like, yeah, of course you have to fit in this. And you're like, no, because I have obligations in my home country or my home city, whatever. And they're like, what? Why? What's your obligation? Tell me, what's your obligation? And you have all the rights to say nothing. It's not none of your business. And number 2, you can even say, because I like to be at home, I can go back and forth, I don't mind, but I'm not going to move here, or because I have to stay in that city or not that state. And they will let you know and say no, because that doesn't even apply. Okay, it does not even apply if you are in that position that that is your position. So you can say my dog, my cat, or my home, this is my house, and I would like to stay in my house. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It always matters when you are justifying whatever you want to justify based on your husband, your wife, your partner. Full stop. Full stop. This is what I just said. This happened in United States. In Turkey, the same thing. When you, God forbid, apply for a position, faculty position or anything, 1000%, and I can tell you that in my alma mater, which is the highest, the number 1, it's like a Harvard in Turkey, was like none of the singles got a position, faculty position. Even they were the top-notch researchers. None. Only the crappy ones who had absolutely nothing to do with science. They just want to get a position to be a home wife, okay? Just go back and forth to school, to go back to home, and make babies, and they're just like having a nice position, because in Turkey the faculty positions are government positions. Basically, you are a government employee, and it has huge benefits. And because of that, it's amazing if you get in a faculty position. I was a faculty position, but with like, even though legally I passed the exam, I had to fight for my rights even as I legally passed my position, my to get into a faculty position. But nevertheless, the people who are still there, if you're watching me, yes, I'm talking to you, even though you're my friends or my foe, doesn't matter. I'm talking to you. Even though you are crappy at science and all of us know it, you, because you are married and want to have a family and a nice, comfortable faculty position, government position, you got promoted, and right now you're even an associate professor, which you didn't deserve a bit, zero. So this is what's actually happening. The same with Germany. I told you, the German delegation came to United States and said, here we have dual, like universities came and said, we have dual positions to recruit back the Germans from United States. This is fact 20 years ago. Same thing. So this is in any position, in even industry, I've seen that. Even if you are in the lowest entry position, if you have a husband and wife, a boyfriend, girlfriend, if you are partnered up, and again, it's illegal for them to ask you that, but somehow they find out, and once they do, and also the applicant also play the system and make it announced and say, here, because of my husband, because of my wife, and they're like, oh, okay, done, check. I've seen this a million times, okay? So if this hits so far, let me know, and like the video, by the way. Thank you so much for that. So it helps push the video to everyone who needs to see this, okay? Even to the policymakers. So let's push that. Let's push this mission of this channel forward. Now, let's talk about housing. Housing, the same crap applies with housing. Renters, home buyers, it doesn't matter, okay? So whatever housing situation, if you are single, you are screwed. If you are partnered, oh, this person has a husband, this person has a wife, this person has a boyfriend, a girlfriend, which is more settled than a single person. But it doesn't matter if they are psychos, but so long they have a partner, fine. But again, if you are a single person, single professional, I don't know, young professional, old professional, Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, boomers, doesn't matter. Because for some reason, why you are even right, and then we'll get to the societal mindset of how they see people, how they see single people. But somehow it doesn't matter, because if this is a known fact that they are saying, when you are single, the homeowners, right, the landlords, they say, oh, if this person is single, they have parties, and this is like a known fact in Turkey. This is a known thing here in the United States too, right? So if they're single, they probably have parties, they probably have like people coming in and out. And so this is a problem, and a severe problem. And also, whatever in the housing situation is, they are pushing and can turn you into a pretzel to make it harder and harder and harder and harder for you. But if you say, oh, my children, oh, my husband, oh, my wife, and they're like, oh, the empathy, the sympathy, it all comes in, right? And this is, again, a severe problem. Now, let's see how then the society sees the single people. When the society sees the single people as, you know, don't care, they don't have, they probably, there's something wrong with them, why they are even single, right? There must be something wrong, and they should have by now have a relationship, or they should have by now doing these and that. And again, the system is so corrupt and literally discriminating against the singles. So the single people, again, whatever generation, and it's getting harder with Gen Zs now all over the place, with all after COVID, everyone is lonely. I mean, let's talk about the loneliness, which I covered multiple times in my master classes, but also in my NHS Practical Neuroscience newsletter on LinkedIn about the loneliness and the mental health. So regardless of what generation, Gen Z, millennials, Gen X, boomers, doesn't matter. If you are single, then there probably is something wrong with you. And why would you not even have a boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife yet? Again, doesn't matter. Even if you're in 20s, the same crap applies. So then let's talk about the loneliness then. The more people are single and lonely, and this we see this a lot with Gen X and millennials, then especially after COVID, that is a severe issue in mental health. And then, of course, the corrupt system takes advantage of it now with AI and with Grok, with Elon Musk now wanting to turn an AI girlfriend for lonely men. And that is severely, utterly, medically, psychologically, physiologically, so dangerous, because it has caused severe mental health problems, even into like very severe things for harming people themselves, because you dive deeper and deeper and deeper into a downward spiral that you will not get out of. And there is, bottom line, no support for that. There is no support, totally the opposite. It gets really deeper and deeper, more harder and harder and harder for single people to even survive in this corrupt world and the corrupt system, because the system, again, is not designed for single people to actually have a comfortable life. It is harder and harder and harder to even compete at any level in the normal life, whether it's a job, whether it's housing, whether it is applying for anything, and even in a situation where you have to deal with, let's say, horrible people, right? Or you have to talk with a person that is harmful, or a person that is actually not good for you, or trying to cause you harm. And it is a difference when you go with somebody, then your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your partner, or when you walk there alone and nobody takes you seriously, or they could even harm you more, because that's how it is. And now this brought me into, and again, you're watching here, so please like this video. I understand you're here since the beginning, appreciate it, but hit the like button so that I know that you are here for a reason and you appreciate what I'm talking about. And so where also from the legal side, from the harm, okay? So when, and I have literally, I mean, these, whatever I'm telling you, these are facts that I know. Even when for somebody harms you or somebody is actually causing you harm, and you are a single person, you have no partner, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, then even when somebody harms, they consider this, doesn't matter because it's not domestic violence. Are you crazy? Are you nuts? So if you are saying that, okay, this person, because it's not domestic violence, meaning you don't fight with your husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, it doesn't matter. And that's why there is no legal protection, and that's why I don't give a crap, and I don't even have to do anything, whether it's with housing, whether it is with no wonder why young women or women are getting everywhere around the globe, right? Because here in the United States, or when they go outside of the country for travels, when they see a woman alone, they end up always like this. And this is why it is so important that's why nobody, like these women, also don't have protection, because the corrupt system literally says, oh, it's not domestic violence, so we can't do nothing about it. So yeah, even lawyers say, harassment, attack can happen anytime, all the time. But if it's a domestic violence, that's a different story. Like, excuse me? Like, what are you talking about? So this is how corrupt and this is how so dangerous the system is against discrimination against the singles. And this is, again, I'm telling you, this is against why when women get killed, because even if they are in a relationship, I mean, we know this from Petito, right? With the girl was killed by her boyfriend who had an internal fight, and the police officers let them go. Yeah, even if it is domestic violence, they let it go. And so now, and these are boyfriend, girlfriend, even if it is husband, wife, doesn't matter, because they're not even, the law enforcement are not even trained for those. But for the imagine now for singles, when you say, okay, somebody attacked me, and listen, I have multiple reports when people attack me on the street, on the train, on, I don't know, neighbors, these and that. How many multiple police reports I have. Nobody take this crap seriously. And you are shaking to the core. You can't walk, you can't talk, because you're like devastated, you're mortified. And they're like, yeah, doesn't matter. And this is how corrupt the system is. And I remember, how many years ago was that? Maybe at least 10 years ago, when it was attacked in a store, in a goddamn store. It was a hardware store, and was attacked literally by that owner and by that worker. And I was shaking to my core. I called the police, and they came, and I barely could talk. And they said, yeah, so what? Nothing. And I said, what do you mean nothing? I mean, he's like, yeah, do you have any harm on your body? I'm like, what? Of course not. Are you crazy? They're like, yeah. Did they hit you? No. If they hit me, they kill me. Like, or do you have any damage? No. What are you talking about? So this is crazy. When you talk with law enforcement, they say to you, anytime something happened, you call us. Okay, you call them, and they're like, do you have any damages on your body? Like, no. Did they attack you physically? No. But then, yeah, then goodbye. This is crazy. This is how crazy corrupt the system is. And God forbid if you, I mean, again, the attack is not just for women, it's for men too. How many young men get killed, right? How many young single men get killed? How many, right? We see the news all the time. And so there's no protection. There's literally not equal opportunities. Everyone is talking about women, men, women, men. The opportunities are not equal. What about the single versus non-single? No one. I am literally the only person talking about this, and I'm openly right now, right here. And you tell me if you are on my side on this, or if you have experience on this, because I want to write a goddamn book about this. This is, again, for 3 countries, for 3 decades, my experience of how the corrupt system functions. Nobody, again, talks about the singles fight for things that's their right, for the faculty position, for their position, period, or anything regarding anything. But it is like cupcake for the married people to get a job, to climb the ladder. Harvard, I saw this at Harvard, literally. Like people who had no qualification, no point to be there, they got promoted literally just because their husband is in Boston. I know for people get a faculty position in other states coming out from Harvard because their husband got a job in that state, so they got a job too. I know I have friends, they got faculty position and their wives, newlywed wives, got other positions too. I mean, hello. I have tons of friends from Boston that isn't that. They got positions because of that. I know also from here, German friends from Harvard, from MIT, and the other person was also Yale graduate and then coming from MIT, and then both Germans. And then the guy was the smarter one, got a position back in Germany, Max Planck Institute, and then of course she went with them. And then, yeah, that's how it works. I know also a Turkish person, also Turkish couple from MIT. The guy was a smarter one at MIT. The girlfriend, also Turkish, was at Harvard. Actually, I gave I gave a recommendation because of me. She got in, was never acknowledged because I talked with that professor, because a professor asked me if I know her, and I said, even though I was like, yeah, whatever, but I just said I didn't say anything bad about her, and then this is why she got into Harvard. And guess what? They got a faculty position in Turkey in a really top-notch university because of the guy, because of the man. And they would literally, and I heard that they said in that top-notch Turkish university, a private university, saying that she's really nothing, but the guy is really, really amazing. But she, yeah, not so much. We just had to kind of give her the position. Oh my God, like screw that. I mean, I literally came all the way to United States, that rumors, not rumors, but actually talks, right? That now, but she's now out in Turkey, associate professor. Like, screw that. Screw that. And so what are we talking about here? What is this? even in this housing, especially the housing is the most corrupt system, particularly in the United States. Okay, I mean anywhere in Turkey is now, I mean, identical to United States anyway. The corruption is out of control, but also here, like, you know, I'm from the healthcare. I keep talking about the corrupt healthcare system, but the housing, nobody talks about the corrupt housing system in the United States of America. This is one of the most corrupt systems. Yeah, we talk about healthcare corruption. We talk about the banking corruption. The telephone companies corruption. The I don't know, pharmaceutical companies corruption. What the hell about the housing corruption? Why they play with you like what is, tell me a game name. They play with people, the people literally in those landlords, and then the management now, because of all the developments, right? The developments, the management companies, they are now this gigantic landlords with the management company, which is sole pure evil, right? Sole pure evil. And then, yeah, and the city placed along. You can't even, like, how many complaints I have, letters and letters and letters and letters sent like this for years. They do nothing. They do nothing. Why? Because they're like this. And then, of course, the non-profits, right? It's always the non-profits, the corrupt non-profits. They all are working together like a team. It doesn't matter who is there, who is this, what's the problem. It's the cookie cutter system, like the healthcare system. Put everyone in the same pot, and they are just like playing like, I don't know, playing like what? A game. Because it's a freaking game. While with our taxpayers' dollars, they sip their coffee 9 to 5, go home with their car, and they play and they make babies and they have a nice family, and they go back to work 9 to 5 with corruption again. And I have no idea how they sleep in their goddamn bed at night, why they're screwing people's lives, and they don't care a crap, because all these non-profits, they all are on in this together. As always, the non-profits, right? It's always there playing the game, and they got the money from the city are playing there, the legal team, and then the, I don't know, the city, and then the landlord and the management company, and all evil combined. You tell me what that means and how you can fight against the evil corruptions. So, and God forbid, then when you are single and when you are, I don't know, on your own fighting with your nails and teeth, then you tell me, oh, the mental health. Oh, sure. It's a nice topic to talk about because it's such like a nice Edworthy, right? Mental health. Absolutely. Such a great talking point. Mental health. Because it makes money. Because it gives attention. Oh, woman, equal rights, men and women. Oh, nice talking points. Of course. What are we doing? What is this? And as I said that, I feel like I turned into Tucker Carlson. What are we doing? What is this? So it is unbelievable. The system altogether, so corrupt. And I really do hope, and I would like to end this here. I haven't gotten any of your comments here, but I would like to end this here. And I hope I was able to open your eyes and maybe give you an aha moment. You're like, wait, that's that's right. I experienced this. Yeah, in this city, in this state, in this country. You tell me. Write it in the comments. I want to know. And I want to write a goddamn book because this is so corrupt. Nobody talks about it. And of course, who talks about this? On this channel. This is how it is. So thank you so much, guys. I really do hope that you can get something out of this. You got a aha moment. You let me know in the comments your experiences. Don't forget to the masterclass that I published. This is about empowerment and how empowerment really, I mean, this is like such a great topic that literally fits in here. Like, I can't make this stuff up, right? Like part 2 is also like, I can't make this stuff up. So you watch like how really empowerment, what really means in the brain, the steps to be empowered based on neuroscience. There's 3 biological steps you need to fulfill in the brain so that you can turn your empowerment into results in real life. Watch that. It's on my channel, published, and probably on Sunday I will take it offline and put it into our NHS neuroplasticity program. So watch until it's still free available, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye-bye.